Welcome to another edition of the Business Builders podcast. It's the podcast that's dedicated to the construction and trade industry. Today, I'm pleased to welcome the Managing Director, Richard Balding of the Active Group. Richard, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very
It's
much
lovely
for
to
having
meet
me.
you.
Yeah.
And where did it all start? How did you get going?
So I'm a scaffolder by background, 18, 19 years old, got into the trade. I got into it because my cousin was into it. He was earning some good money and I was working at William Hill, actually, in a betting shop. So I thought, sod it, let's give it a go. Went on to Formark Scaffolding out of Whiteleaf.
Formark, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so I worked for them for quite a few years, worked my way up. And then I changed company to Croydon Scaffolding. I changed company again to Kit Scaffolding. So I worked for a few different companies, but I dominantly learnt my trade at Formark. And then unfortunately, I cut the end of my finger off on Kit Scaffolding. So yes, wow. I lost the end of my finger, which put me at home. Hated it, went crazy. And then luckily, a friend of mine said, why don't you come work for me? He's got a company called Active Maintenance. And I was like, well, what am I going to be doing? I'm a scaffolder. He was like, no, you're really, really good with like customer facing. You're good with clients. He said, I'll make you a site supervisor. So I said, brilliant, let's give it a go. So went over there, done the first one. It was a nationwide building society. Worked on this bank, dealing with different trades. Really enjoyed it, like the problem solving and stuff like that, and working with all these different people and different places rather than being at one company. And really, really enjoyed it. So they gave me a full-time job.
That maintenance, is that like a refurbish of the...
Yeah, so Active Maintenance do basically rip out and fit outs and refurbs on commercial buildings. So nationwide building societies and Tesco's and all sorts of different...
In the retail sector?
Yeah. So we do everything from sort of flooring, decorating, ceiling grids, roofing and all sorts of stuff like that. So worked my way up from site supervisor to operations manager to the operations director. And then unfortunately, one of the business partners, probably the worst thing that happened to us is we turned over 1.2 in our first year. So we grew too quickly. Yeah. It went to one of the directors' heads a little bit and he ran away with it. And then we came away from maintenance and went more to the project side of things, doing the much larger scale projects. And maintenance got forgotten, and then he tried to bring it back, which then put us in a hole of about £70,000-80,000. And Boxing Day, he rang me up and said, "Do you want to buy me out?" Oh. And I said, "What for?" So basically, I refused it. I said I wasn't going to give up. I said I'm willing to stay, and for the men, because we had a really good team, and he wasn't willing to stay, so he left. He took the maintenance division. And me and the other director stayed, and that
was that doing the larger projects? Though?
Yeah, the larger projects. So he kind of left with the smaller works, the day-to-day maintenance jobs, where you're getting sort of like 5-6 jobs a day done per man, and we stayed on the ones where we're like sort of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 week projects.
Yeah.
So yeah,
is there a project value that you work to, or you're?
They all change, but the biggest.
It's not a range, no.
Yeah, so we sort of like £15,000 up to £500,000. Right, okay. So yeah, the biggest one was probably a job centre over 5 floors, and we'd done the whole 5 floors, toilets, kitchens, all the decorating, everything in between. So yeah, that was the biggest one. That was night work as well. So and I delivered that all night for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, my partner wasn't too pleased with that one because I was sleeping during the day and working at night. So she was not too pleased with that one. But again, I was so committed to Active and working for this company and to my friends that I was working for. Backfired a little bit when he done what he did, but we've since sorted it out and we're amicable now. But yeah, so he left. I stayed on with this other director, and he said, "Stay, and I'll make you a partner." So me and him basically took that whole year to get out of that hole, and it's quite powerful that the men didn't take a wage for 2 months.
Oh, wow.
They put their own money in for materials, their own money in for hotels and fuel costs. So all of them guys that are still with us now, they're like the bread and butter of our company.
Yeah.
They're the core group, and
testimony to you as well.
Yeah, they'll never be forgotten. And I was that person as well. I worked for this company and I've done the same. So Mark, my business partner, at the time. Was a very lucky boy that he had all these people that were willing to back him and to give back to him. So I was actually on a job in Peterborough doing a full re-roof, and we didn't have a penny. So we all basically paid for it and got it back to where it was. And then it took us a year to get out of it. So that whole year went past really quickly. And we got to what sort of like 10, 15, 20 grand sort of left to pay. I've skipped a chapter here. So during that time, we had a scaffold company that was doing the scaffolds for us, and they were letting us down a lot. And I said, look, let's start our own scaffolding business.
Alongside the maintenance.
Alongside the maintenance. So active scaffolding or active group scaffolding, it's now called. And he was all for it. So brilliant, went for it. Got the best scaffolder I know, which is my business partner, James, from Formark. So pinched him. And
why not?
Yeah, why not? So pinched James. He come over and I said to Mark, don't worry, I'll run projects and I'll run scaffolding. And James will put the jobs up and it'll all be fine. How wrong was I? 3 months in, I'm pulling my hair out. I can't run 2 companies at once. Obviously, bless Mark, lovely, lovely man, but he's more on the tools than he is sort of operational. So running actual men and projects is not his cup of tea, which is obviously not a problem. Everybody's got their own paths. And so about 3 months into that, I thought, what can I do? My best friend, Joe, who now my business partner, Joe, he had been run over by a drink driver in Caterham and nearly lost his leg. He's had 23, 24 surgeries, laid up in his sofa for 3-4 years, scaffolder. He'll never scaffold again, won't be able to climb a ladder again. And it was... I knew he would be good at it if his brain was in the right place. So I said, look, I can't afford to pay you, but if you come on board, any work you bring, I'll give you a percentage of. He was like, yeah, sod it.
Sorry, was his background from the other scaffolding company?
Yeah, Kits. So when we've been friends since Kids, but I went to Kits because he was on there, unfortunately, where I chopped my end of my finger off. Right duo, one with one leg and one with 9 fingers. I knew he would be good if he was in the right state of mind. So I said, look, I can't pay you, but come on board, see what you can do. And he smashed it. He was earning more than what he would do in a wage by just taking the car, and he was doing really, really well. So I said, look, what do you want to do? And he was like, I want to be a part of it. So I said, yeah, wicked. Let's get you on board. So then obviously we managed to give him a job, and he basically become the operations manager, running it. And then he was like, no, I want to be in. So I was like, okay. So I took it to James, took it to Mark. Obviously we were already 3 ways. Going 4 ways, you're losing your shares of your business. But to me, it was a no-brainer because I was concentrated on projects. If he can concentrate on scaffolding, it's a win-win, right? So, and also I'm giving back to my best friend that's had a seriously tough time.
Yeah,
so
that must be extremely difficult.
Yeah. I don't know anyone that's been to the lows that he's been to, and now to the highs that he is.
It's amazing that he's fought back, and a lot of people kind of give up. So
I mean,
well done.
He's lucky he's got like myself and his family around him, because he wasn't in a good place, but we've pulled him back out of it, and now he's our biggest cheerleader as well as we're his. So it's going really well for him now. Obviously he got paid out for the injury because he was run over by someone in their work vehicle, funny enough. So
he's drunk driving in his work vehicle.
So,
but his employer was pleased.
He's okay now. He's managed to buy himself his own home, and he's now invested heavily into the business, so it's paid us back tenfold. What we was able to give to him, he's given us back more than we could ever imagine. So we'll get to that. But he's my right hand man. He's my brother. So wicked. So we started doing that, and then we've got to 2 years in now of scaffolding. I think we've just gone into our 3rd year, and scaffolding is probably, if not bigger or on par with project. So this little side venture, because obviously the scaffolders were letting us down so much. We're historically known for being a bit of like a messer.
It does have a reputation.
Scaffolding does. So the one thing I always get when I meet people is you don't come across as a scaffolder. You haven't got the tattoos and
you're just being polite for the camera.
No, I'm not. So obviously I do a lot of networking, BNI, as you know. So when I'm at BNI, introduce myself as a gentleman scaffolder, and people were like, is there such thing? So we're trying to change the narrative, which is all of our men that we've got, family
Effectively, that's all Charlie Mullins done with Pimlico Plumbers, was change the narrative.
Yeah.
And now he charges premium.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Did,
yeah. I'm not saying we're all bad. Otherwise,
no, but it shows what you can do just by changing that narrative.
We wouldn't have any
possible.
staff if they were all bad, but the guys we've got are all family men. That they're committed. They're at home on the weekends with their families. They're not down the pub, not turning up on a Monday. We won't have that. So, yeah, it's we're creating that narrative, and we're trying to build that culture. So that's what we're trying to do. And obviously, we're very big for mental health. Obviously, myself and Joe have been through some seriously tough times. So anyone that's struggling, everyone struggles. We're there to put our arms around our staff and stuff as well. So we're not disconnected from our men. So
very good.
So yeah, we've obviously got to where we got to, and then now the last business partner is leaving. As I said before, he's not operational. He doesn't want to be big. We want to be big, so we're expanding rapidly. I think we've got probably 18 men now, like 10 vehicles and stuff.
Are they PAYE or
no? So they're subcontractors. We've got a few PAYEs, but a lot of them are subcontractors. But we're looking at contracts and how we're going to do that. So yeah, they've been with us quite a while. Like I say, these boys have been with us for 5 years now. Some of them. So yeah, it's going really well, and we're trying to be a lot bigger. But unfortunately, Mark doesn't want to do that. He prefers the smaller and 9 till 5, and running a business is not 9 till 5.
No,
so
especially in the early days.
It is. You've got to put it in now to reap the benefits. And so yeah, Mark's going to be leaving, which is not a problem. We're all very good friends. It's just not for him. So I've basically gone from working for two of my mates, and fast forward 5-6 years, and I'm going to be the managing director of Active, along with Joe, who came in just to help out, and now it's us two who own Active Maintenance, trading as Active Projects, and myself, Joe, and James, who own Active Scaffolding.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of where we're.
Congratulations!
It's a bit surreal sometimes when I life moves so fast and business moves so fast, and you're constantly firefighting and problem solving. You never really sit back and go, wow, how did I get to where I've got to? And when I think about it, it is a crazy journey I've been on. The debts that we've been in, and I've been in a few rough places over my period. So 2 years ago, year and a half ago, this Boxing Day, my daughter was diagnosed with kidney failure.
Oh dear.
So I've got an eldest, Mia, who's 15. She got diagnosed with kidney failure, and I got told that there's no cure. So she will only ever get worse until she can have a transplant, and then if that takes and stuff. So I was in where Joe was.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
Rocked down.
How is she now?
She's okay. She's running at like sort of 30% kidney function rate, maybe a little bit lower now. So she will have to have a transplant
At some point.
but we was told it was going to be like within a year, and now we're looking at probably like 10-15 years, which is amazing because of the Evelina and the medicines she's on and stuff like that. So yeah, it's amazing. But to try and get up every day and turn up to work and be strong for your men, and be like go to the networking and put on a brave face and stuff like that, it's not easy. It's not easy, and it was tough. And luckily, I've got a business partner like Joe and James and Mark when he was here that put their arm around me and kept me going. So I take my hat off to any sole directors that are running a business by themselves, because it is a lonely place.
You do need people. You do need a sounding board. Somebody just to unload on.
Yeah. You have a bad day and they pick up the pieces, and then they have a bad day and you do the same. So
it sounds like you've got a great culture there, because obviously that's supportive. You personally, because of what you've experienced, obviously you're spreading that out as well to the guys in the team.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to give back. It's not about making millions of pounds for me. I just want to live a comfortable life, a happy life, and if that comes, then that comes. If it doesn't come, I know I've helped the people along the way, and I'm doing what I enjoy, because I used to hate Mondays when I was a scaffolder, and now I hate Fridays. And that it's true. I when I go on a Saturday, my brain tries to switch off, but it can't switch off. I'm a bit ADHD, so I'm like, I have to be doing something all the time. So weekends are a killer for me. I like Monday, get back into it, get into the thick of it, and that's what I love.
You said 5 years to where you are now.
Yes.
Do you have like looking down the road another 5 years?
Yeah,
You got
so
any? You mentioned you want to grow it. Where is it going to be different divisions or?
yeah, so I don't think I'd ever go back to maintenance. I mean, we don't mind dabbling in the smaller jobs, but it's logistically it's a nightmare.
Well, you have the same amount of trades in a more confined space, and
Yeah,
it can be
yeah. So
quite
I
difficult.
don't think we would ever go down that route. We do pick up little jobs, but yeah, I don't think we'd go back down the route of an actually maintenance company. Potentially, it might happen one day, but yeah, that's not what I'm looking at. So I love the commercial world, but I would like to get into the domestic.
I was going to ask it
Yeah,
actually. Is it only commercial you deal
so it's
with?
only commercial, yeah. So
Okay.
we literally work in the commercial sector for multiple different outfits. But yeah, we only do commercial, and I'm very good with the customer side of things. So as well as I get on with my project managers and contract managers, I think I'd get on well with actual homeowners and
Yeah.
them types of customers and
The
clients.
dynamics are slightly different, but
100%.
actually we'll talk afterwards because I could probably introduce you to some people for the domestic side.
Yeah, so active properties is definitely, we've actually got a sticker on the wall because I'm quite big on manifesting and wrapping myself around them sort of things and putting myself in these sort of positions to open new doors.
Have you done any kind of business training? Because you're mentioning things like manifestation and stuff like that. A lot of people use, affirmations and mindset stuff. Have you done that in the past?
So I got to where I've got to now without anything. It's only since I've joined BNI, which I'm in my first year of BNI doing the networking, that I've realised that I didn't know what I was doing. I was winging it. So I've put myself around better business owners that have been doing it years upon years, and now I'm picking what I need to know off of certain individuals. So no, I've never had a business coach, never had a mentor until recently, and I've joined the Joe Carr Construction Academy, who is Joe Carr. He owns Stella Scaffolding, and he's 10 steps ahead of us, and that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
And he's created a really good culture within his business as well. They're all like gym goers, they're all motivated. He gives back a lot to them, so we're getting a lot of fed down from him to give to our team. So yes, I do have a mentor now. Never had one before, so I'm quite proud we've got to where we've got to without having to have any help, but I'm all open for the help now.
Yeah, definitely. Every step, everybody, any walk of life, whether it's sport or
Yeah.
business, there's always a mentor involved in some way.
Yeah, there's levels, isn't there? So to get to
yeah.
that
But
next
mindset,
level.
if you think about it, everything, wherever you look, everything is mindset. I personally I do meditation. I have a morning ritual, and it's all about mindset. And some of the things you're saying are so important because a lot of business owners don't always appreciate.
Yeah.
And if you surround yourself with people better than you, too many business owners, small business, they kind of keep people around them so they can stay on top.
Yeah.
That, in my opinion, that's the wrong way.
No, yeah,
You need to work on yourself.
You need to be the small fish
Yeah.
in the big pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So I've soon quickly realised that. So yeah, my mentor has taught me about the morning routine. I do the affirmations and the meditating and stuff like that now, vision where I want to be, where I want my family to be, and stuff like that. So obviously it's big for me that I am successful because unfortunately my daughter, both my daughters, I've got a 4-year-old little girl called Lola as well. She's non-verbal autistic, so she's not got the best start in life either. And then my little boy Romeo, who hopefully will be the owner of Active one day as well. So I'm
Creating a legacy.
creating a legacy. So my thing is hopefully I can be successful and I can give my children the best of whatever they want, because obviously I didn't come from that. I'm a council estate background, working class, and I'm hoping that I can give them the better start and give them a bit of a knee up compared to what I had. But if I can, then brilliant. If I can't, then I've given it my best trying.
Well, definitely. And listening to you now, I can't see there's any reason why that can't happen.
Yeah.
Actually, if there's anybody listening who is looking to, say, let's start with the scaffolding one, but
Yes.
if they're looking to start a scaffolding company, because I would imagine there's lots of, especially health and safety now, height restrictions. There's, I would imagine it's quite heavy, the capital outlay at the beginning. What would you say to somebody thinking of going into it? Is it yes or no?
It's also the competition as well.
Yeah.
Every time I drive into London, I see a different scaffold company that I've never seen before. Right. There is signboards upon signboards and scaffolds upon scaffolds. Obviously, the good thing is there's plenty of work.
Yeah.
There's work everywhere. The worse, when I was a scaffolder, the worse health and safety got, the worse my job got. now as a business owner, the worse health and safety gets, the more work we get.
Yeah.
So obviously edge protection and stuff like that, there's plenty of work. So anybody that's thinking to start, 100% do it.
So the differentiation side really is if you come in the gentleman scaffolder, that's the kind of line you're taking. And
yeah. So I kind of sell it as I own a building company, right? So I know what it's like to have someone come in and ruin it at the beginning, and I know what it's like to have someone come in at the end and leave a sour taste. And that's what scaffolders have done for me in the past. So we promise to come in and set your project up for the best start possible, and then we come at the end and put the cherry on the cake and leave. And that's kind of our selling point, is that we won't. A subby needs to be given as well as what you're giving. So if I'm getting a subby in, they basically need to be a good string to my bow, not a bad one.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
so that's what we sell. But we've just started doing YouTube. I think we're about 7 episodes in now, just to basically show the journey. Sometimes it's embarrassing, and it's people find it cheesy and this, that, and the other. But there's somebody out there that's going to watch it who is a scaffolder that's going to go, sod it, I'm going to give this a go, and I'm going to have a go. And James, my business partner, is probably the one for that. He is not the salesman. He is not a business person. He is the best scaffolder I know. So he deserved to have his own business, but he couldn't do all the backroom stuff. Enters me. So I grabbed him from there and I said, look, you need to reap the benefits of your hard work, and I'm going to help you. And he was very, very nervous. He was like, oh, we should go down to like 3 days a week, or just do it on the weekends and this, that, and the other. And I said, no, we need to take the jump. So we bought a scaffold company, an older gentleman that was retiring. We bought his business, got quite a good deal, managed to do it over weekly payments rather than like done a bit of a deposit and then done weekly payments. And we got his client, his materials. And that's how we started originally, to get James away from his full-time job and into a new full-time job. But there's times when he hasn't taken a wage. I didn't take a wage for the first God knows how long, a year and a half. You have to put back. Obviously, I was managed to take a wage from active maintenance, but not from active scaffolding. And it wasn't about that for me. It was about obviously long-term building it. So, but to get him away, and there's people out there that need to get away from their situation and start themselves. So yeah, I would say definitely go for it, give it a try. I mean, there's a lot of people that start off with a small truck and a small amount of gear and just do it on the weekends. If that's the way you want to do it, try it. But I'm all for go all in. And yeah, if you're going to do it, do it.
what are the main stumbling blocks if somebody is going to do it? You mentioned obviously if they've just got the one truck and a few.
The main stumbling blocks.
Is there things that, health and safety goes without saying, but
Yes.
is there like, looking back now, would you have changed anything in terms of how you've done the business, that you could have made it a bit slicker or improved it a bit?
I'll tell you, O license. So when you go from a
driver's operator.
so when you go from a truck to an 18-ton lorry, the O license licensing people, they don't make your life easy. You've still got to put a post in a newspaper for 30 days for people to be able to see if they're happy with you having an O license in that area, and it's dated stuff. It shouldn't be like that now. They should make it a lot easier and accessible for people to be able to. They make it hard for you to own a business and run a business.
Just for somebody who doesn't know, does the O license have a time frame on it? Does it expire after so many years or whatever?
No, I don't think so. It's just you
just explain what a no license is to somebody who may not know.
So it's an operating license for you to have an 18-ton lorry, because obviously you're now taking the risk of driving an 18-ton lorry around London, a big 18-ton missile, and you need to basically have all your PMIs, which is like mini MOTs, and that's hard as well and expensive. So it's going from the truck, the small truck, and putting up the little jobs, to trying to take the leap and go to the bigger one and trying to obviously tender for these larger scale jobs. That's the hard part for me. And if I would go back, I did use a company that done it all for me, and they done it, but I wouldn't change anything. But that is a big stumbling block for people that are trying to take that jump from the smaller company to the bigger company. And then obviously your accreditations, they're hard to get as well. We're now in the process of becoming NASC approved, which is obviously the National Association of Scaffolding. Which then again opens up more doors and gives you them much bigger tenders. But yeah, it's not.
Well, a lot of the construction companies have to have CHAS or safe contractor stuff like that. Do scaffolding companies have to do that as well?
Yeah, so we're CHAS Construction Line Gold, and then we've also got one more PQS as well. But like NASC is the top tier for scaffolding, and you need to your yard has to look a certain way. It has to have a design for your rack, and like there's levels, and that is the top level. So yeah, that's what we're thriving to. So 5-year plan for me would obviously be to be NASC approved, multiple lorries on the road, a big team of people, happy people that are enjoying their work life, and then obviously with projects as well, doing the resi side and the commercial side, and just having this group business that's hopefully self-running, and I can just sit back sort of thing and step in where I need to, where rather than doing the firefight and the day-to-day stuff, which is what I do now.
I sometimes upset people when I say you've only created a well-paid job. You don't really have a business unless it operates without you.
Which is obviously
without you being in there.
When I've met people like you, I found that out. That's what I'd done.
Well, I've got a company. But obviously there's lots of talk about this scaffolding company and how obviously the qualifications and certifications. And you mentioned earlier about the difficulties you had running the two companies and how it stressed you out, and then obviously you brought people on. If there's somebody listening who's running 2 divisions or 2 limited companies, was there anything in particular that you've done that have you started to introduce processes, systems, or is there certain things that you've done for the infrastructure that's helped you deal with those problems?
Yeah, so admin, straight away. You shouldn't be doing that. You should have someone doing your admin, your invoicing, your quoting, all that day-to-day stuff. We've obviously got someone doing that. That was a game changer. We've got a CRM system. We use Tradify, however you want to say it, for projects. And then scaffolding, we're going on to Batten, which is the new one. So keep your ears out for Batten if you're a scaffolder.
What is that, a new software?
New software that's coming out.
I haven't heard of that one.
What
does that do for you?
So it's basically going to be like Tradify, where you can still do your schedule, your quotes, your invoicing, and put your materials on there, and trackers, everything. But this is based around scaffolders. So obviously the JCCA that I'm a part of, scaffolding business, so they're part of that branding, and they're creating something that's going to work for scaffolding. So we can get to site, it will ping up on my phone, the boys are there, 10 to 8, lovely, well done. They can take a picture or before and afters, and it can go straight on the CRM system. I can see where they're at, how many days they've got left there, and all that sort of stuff. And then
Would it do stock holding and stock taking and stuff like that? Does it expand that far?
Not sure about that. Right. It's very, very hard to do that when you've got a million fittings and stuff like that. Yeah,
a scaffolding company.
A million fittings went out and only 999,000 came back. Yeah, no, it's that would be a bit tricky with scaffolding, because stuff breaks and lose and cut and this, that, and the other all the time. But it's more the helping you run your day to day, knowing that the guys are there on time. You can send like toolbox talks to site. They can do it there and then send it back, which is obviously really important with these top tier, especially like your tier 1 clients. We've just been onboarded with Axis. So we're going to start doing a lot of cancel work and stuff. Yeah. And there's a lot of red tape in that. So it's, they make, like we said earlier, they make it hard for you to be able to earn a pound note. Yeah.
Yeah. Also it's kind of one of the idiosyncrasies within the construction is the payment terms.
Yes.
And that can be, I'm assuming it's JCT or, the contracts that you work to with the contractors. Yeah. Do they still hold retentions? Because that's just come out that they're stopping that. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't know.
I'm not sure when it happens, but I was reading somewhere that whether it's the government or whoever the organising bodies are, they're stopping main contractors withholding retentions.
Okay, yeah. So we our worst one's 45-day payment terms.
Right.
Yeah, which can kill cash flow, and obviously cash flow is king.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so we've got 14 days.
You're lucky it's 45.
Yeah, there's 60, 90. There's crazy numbers out there. Especially with Axis, what they do is they quite cheeky with it. They will give you your money quicker if you take a lesser percentage. So they'll charge you like 2.5% if you want it for 14 days, sort of thing. So, but you have to. You have to. We actually invoice finance with our.
It's wrong though, isn't it?
With our project side, so we have to factor our invoices, and we wouldn't be able to run without it. So yeah, no.
Yeah, cash flow has always been a problem within construction.
Oh yeah, massively, especially starting out.
Yeah, factoring the companies again, as long as you've got the margins in there, but some people haven't got those margins to even use a factoring company. So.
Hence why I want to go to the resi, because you can get 50% up front and 50% when you're done. Yeah, it looks like a...
Yeah, you don't often see a deposit in a commercial.
No deposits. It's high risk, high reward.
So is there any other... obviously, we've mentioned the fit-out side, and you've got the construction side, scaffolding side. Is there any other kind of direction, any other sort of
I don't want to
ambitions?
Yeah, I don't want to.
You don't want to give any trade secrets.
No. I don't want to spread myself too thin, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything. Obviously, we've just opened up a roofing division, but I've got a brilliant roofing manager in. I'm not a roofer, so I got the best I could get in, and now we've gone down that route because it comes hand in hand with the scaffolding. So now we can offer a quote for your scaffolding and a quote for your re-roof, and do it all in house. And then obviously you get a project manager like myself or one of my team who would run it from start to finish. So it's just like that all in one package. So you haven't got to worry about all these different companies and trades coming in.
How have you structured it? Have you got a like the group, and then are they limited companies underneath that, or
No, not yet.
Right.
That's definitely planned. So that would be end goal when we're sort of like main contractor. At the moment, it's literally active maintenance and active scaffolding, trading as obviously active projects and active.
does the maintenance take on the work as subcontractors then?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So you do package work.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Oh, interesting. It's all good stuff. And,
Yeah. We're giving it a go. I'm very proud of my team and very proud of what we're doing, and we're giving it our best, and we're honest and we're very transparent, hence why we do a lot of the YouTube and the social media, which is where the world's going. We didn't realise it was quite an interesting one, actually. Shout out to Jack Lagodi, our social media manager, when he come and interviewed us to see if we were going to go on boarded with him. I had a work experience lad with me who was 15. So he was sat next to me on his work experience, and he said to me, when you go to, say, Skegness, and I'm doing a project there, he said, you need a roofer in that local area, what would you do? And I said, well, I'd Google it. Of course, that's how you find anyone, right? And he looked at the 15-year-old, he went, what would you do? He went, I'll TikTok it. And I was like, I literally was gobsmacked. I said, you would TikTok it. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you get thousands of honest, real life opinions and reviews versus fake Google reviews. And I was gobsmacked. So that he had me then. He was like, okay, here's my wallet. Do you know what I mean? So we signed up. We've done the social media now for quite a while, and now we've just started the YouTube. But yeah, we're just being transparent, showing the journey, showing the highs, the lows. Obviously, there's plenty of them when stuff goes wrong, but yeah, it's about building that. And we've actually won jobs now where we go to someone's house to price for a scaffold, and the kid would be like, you're the scaffolder of TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, that's us. And straight away the parents are like, oh, we're going to use him because yeah, he's got a relationship with them already. So it's paid us back. We've had a few jobs from TikTok and stuff like that where people have seen it. Even like done one recently in Brixton where site supervisor saw it, and he reached out to us and was like, I've seen your TikToks and that, I like what you're doing, you seem like good guys and stuff, can you come and quote this job? And it was quite a decent, nice little lump as well. So yeah, it's good. He's paying back in return.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I suppose from a business perspective, obviously you're mentioning the marketing. Obviously I'm a dinosaur, but the TikTok and the new sort of approach, videos, YouTubes, but marketing is critical to what you're saying. The systems, you'd be lost without the new system that you're implementing.
Yeah.
Anything else that you feel that a business owner needs to think about, that they need to build that infrastructure? Because a scaffolder is a great scaffolder, a carpenter is a great carpenter. As they get busier, they bring more people on. But what they do seem to forget is they need to build that infrastructure in along with them and around them.
Yeah.
So if somebody was looking to do that, is there any other things that, for example, you know, when you get, say, HR, if you're getting a scaffolder, are scaffolders hard to get hold of now?
Yes. Good ones.
How do you get a good scaffolder?
Steal them. Offer them more money. The good ones are always taken, right? So you do have to, but that's why we're trying to build that culture of you're going to be happy to come in on a Monday. We give a lot back. Like our Christmas do wasn't at a pub like most, or a nightclub or whatever. We took them all out for go-karting for the day. We done prizes for, we teamed it, so it's projects versus scaffolding. Created a bit of a
Who won?
Projects. So yeah, we managed to nick it off of.
Did you do the scoring?
No. I actually won the go-karting. Right. I got fastest lap, being even 18 stone. So it must have been the downforce. So Joe and obviously scaffolding and me and projects, we took the win. But it was just good to bit of banter. It was 1 versus 1, and we done prizes like red letter days for going around Brands Hatch, and rather than doing bonus and going out for a few drinks, we done that, and then we took them all out for a nice slap up meal. But we videoed that and we put it on on our socials, so people can see that we're trying to give a lot back. We're going to do another one in the summer, maybe take them all horse racing or something at Epsom or something like that. So we're trying to, obviously, like I say, build that culture, and hopefully the people will want to come to us. That's what I want. I want a list of people and go, sorry, we're not busy enough to have you yet, but give us a call back in 2 months, or I'll call you.
Very commendable. So the interview process really is also looking at the person's persona, how he carries himself, not whether he can physically do the job.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that. I've been told by HR that
you can't actually openly say it.
If you've got a mortgage. No, you got to be careful. But
but you're looking for the personality as 100%. Much as anything else.
Yeah, they're wearing my uniform, which is my brand, and I'm proud of that brand. As you can tell, we've gone from nothing to everything. So
it's an amazing journey, amazing story.
So we're really proud of it, and we call it a family. I've put out a post yesterday that we're looking for more scaffolders and more labourers, and if you want to be a part of the family, then apply below.
Marvellous.
Yeah,
brilliant.
But when it comes to what else, I would say is definitely you need to have operations. Like I've got an operations manager, Michael now. He has been a blessing in disguise. He's taken the day-to-day stresses from scaffolding off of myself and Joe. So I am looking for another one for projects. So definitely need another operations manager on the project side, just to take off them stresses. You need the business working for you. Do you know what I mean? Not you working on it, like you say, just creating yourself a...
Yeah. There's a lot... Actually, smaller contractors do find it extremely hard to find a decent general foreman or somebody in it. I'm EOS. Oh, well, it's turned into a franchise now, but it is EOS certification is a business operating system, and they when they set up a business, they have the visionary, which arguably could be you, and then they have somebody called an integrator, and the integrator arguably is the contracts manager, or he's the guy that kind of make sure everything, all the moving parts, so he's the glue that holds it all together.
Yeah.
But the visionary is the person that kind of chooses the direction of the ship and kind of strategically where we're going. And I think every business needs to have that integrator to make sure, because too many people wear too many hats in smaller companies. And once you're aware of that, it's so important.
Which is where I've got to. I realised that I was doing way too much. I couldn't go on holiday. If I went on holiday...
You didn't take your phone, did you?
Always. And my laptop. If I went away, the company stopped. Not scaffolding, because obviously Joe and James and Michael are smashing that, but mainly projects, because that's my baby, and that's where I deal with day to day. So it's now I look at it quite like football. So I need that holding midfielder that's going to be box to box, dealing with all the day to day problems. And that's what I'm looking for now. So we're definitely recruiting. So
So and you're just advertising.
Yeah. So we're advertising.
So if anybody's listening,
100%. We're looking for multi trades on the project side, but it takes a certain person on the commercial world, and also
is that chippy based?
Yeah, so we
chippy kind of background.
Yeah, so we need decorators, chippies, roofers. Multi trade is kind of, because our jobs are sort of handyman on steroids. Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to do a bit of everything. But if you're just solely one trade, like I've got just decorators, then I obviously got work for you as well. But if you can do a bit of everything, like my plumber, Caspian, he's amazing. He can fit the kitchens, fit the bathrooms, and he can also do plenty of other stuff, lead work, this, that, and the other. So someone like that's gold dust to me. He's actually from the Isle of Wight. So he used to come over, and I'd put him in digs Monday to Friday. Then he'd go back to the Isle of Wight. He actually moved to East Grinstead for the business. Wow. So he actually moved a whole island away to come work for us, which is really, really nice. Pat on the back sort of to us as well, that we managed to build something that he was willing to move home for. And it's funny enough, we've had 3 jobs on the Isle of Wight since, so he's had to go back. So we've stuck him back 3 times. Obviously it's his hometown, so he knows the town better than any of the others, and he's recently just done 3 jobs on the Isle of Wight.
With you mentioned a maintenance company, and you mentioned earlier on about perhaps taking it to a main contractor. Is that a kind of, do you have a strategic plan, and that's what we're going to do?
That's what I need you for.
Oh, don't ask me, I don't know nothing. But it's I do find actually a lot of businesses they kind of react to the way the business is taking them, rather than have some sort of blueprint.
Yes.
Yeah, I think people get. I'm all one for having a plan, but it's got to be realistic and it's got to be built around the company. You know, if it's a bespoke out, you've got to have 30 years and this and 10 years that. Come on, let's calm down a bit. Let's just get some just a nice settled kind of game.
Yeah,
where we're going to go initially.
Yeah, I'm never going to say that we wouldn't do it. I know it's a big step. You need your QSs and project managers, this, that, and the other. It's a completely different world.
It depends on what size of project you want to do. Obviously, it's a long time ago now, probably 15, 20 years ago. But when I had my construction company, we done projects back then, probably from 100,000 to 1 million. I don't know what we equate to now. But we structured it in a way, because I'd worked for Bovis, and Bovis had an estimating department, planning department, etc., etc. But we had contracts managers that would price the work, so we didn't have an estimating department.
Okay.
So they would price the work and then run the job, because then they knew where the good bits and bad bits were within the project. So if you can do it that way, you can still get away with it now, I would imagine. But again, because of the nature of PAYE, employers NI, it's quite an expensive, to employ people now. But hopefully the government will come to its common senses soon, and then people can start employing people again. But it's the point I'm trying to make is maintenance to main contracting is slightly, it will require different people wearing different hats.
Yeah. And I understand that. So it's definitely something I'm interested in.
Would that be commercial, or would that the building, say, call it a building company?
Yeah.
The building company, would that kind of jump in both feet in both kind of areas, or would you say I want the building company to just concentrate on commercial, or say high-end resi?
I don't know.
So you should have a plan.
Yeah, you should have a plan. I'm going with it. The only thing what I do find with the commercial is obviously when you get to the end of the tax year, things slow up. And
it's very contractual.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. It's as you grow, the health and safety, the compliance, and it can be quite contractual.
Friends of mine who are builders, like Joe, Joe Solomon from Trust Builders, they're fully booked until April next year. So is
she commercial?
No, resi. Right. So and won't go out of her circle from her house, which is like unheard of to us. We're in Skegness and Isle of Wight. Do you know what I mean? So it's appealing to me to definitely do that. I do think it's an option that myself and Joe want to go down and definitely look at buying properties and having teams that can go in there, do them up, and then we can flip them basically. That's sort of where we want to start, build a portfolio once we've got that portfolio, because it's very hard to break into a local area as a builder, because your local builders,
again, there's so much competition, as you mentioned, with scaffolders.
Yeah, they've got it locked up. Their families have had it for generations and stuff like that. So we'd like to buy our own properties, do them up, build a portfolio, and then we've got something we can actually take to them. Because if I go to someone at Tracy at number 39 and go, oh yeah, look at what we done in a bus depot, not going to be bothered about that. So they want to see what you've done in people's homes before and the transformations, the before and afters.
Yeah, everybody starts somewhere, but it's always better if you've got some sort of portfolio.
So I think that's our next goal, is to get our own one, show what we can do, perform, obviously video it all, YouTube it all, TikTok it all, and then that we've got something that we can take to customers. And if it happens organically, then amazing. We'll have separate, and then like I say, my teams on commercial can jump on the domestic jobs because they're from that background anyway. So when a project finishes, a 6-week project finishes, and the next one's starting in 2 weeks, there's 2 weeks I can bulk out that job with. And I think it'll come hand in hand, just like the projects comes hand in hand with scaffolding. So we're able to, they sit next to me in the office, and I can go through and, I've got another bank that needs scaffolding. I can just go, Joe, when can you get it? He's like, next Wednesday. All right, brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Does the maintenance company do as much travelling as do you have a geographical range for the maintenance company?
The maintenance company is what does all the travelling, which is projects now.
Right, to Isle of, I see.
Yeah. So it's projects that does all of the travelling. Scaffolding, we try and stay more local, London. Right. Obviously, London's where the money is, so that's where we tend to try and aim for all of our work and our local area, and sort of down to Brighton, that sort of area for us, because we're based in Godstone, Junction 6 and M25, so that's where our yard is. And we've recently just moved yard, so we've bought another scaffold business. So another man that's retiring, been doing it for 40, 50 years, plenty of material, wants to sell up. So we're buying him out gradually as well.
Did he have a yard, or you combining?
So we've moved into his yard with all of, because he had a lot more material than us, and we're gradually buying him out as well. So that's how we've found growing our business has been the quickest and easiest way, is to obviously buy someone's telephone number, buy their materials. And I think he bought us as well, because he saw what we was trying to do, and he wanted to pass on his men, and he wanted to pass on his men to people that have looked after them like he did.
So you took all these guys?
Took a couple of his guys, his main guys, which was the ones he wanted to keep on, and obviously keep the money in their pocket. So we've carried on their deal, and we've not looked back.
From your time in the industry, I'm assuming that you've got some stories that hopefully, they're not past the watershed.
I've got a few that probably can't be spoke about on here, but the scaffolding world is it takes a certain individual to go up to 300 foot in the air and spin a spanner. It's not a normal job, and it does take a certain individual. And I've met a few of them on my path. I won't mention them, no names, but I've seen a lot. The old school scaffolding is kind of gone now. It has to, because of health and safety. But people used to catch tubes from 50 foot up, and you can't do that stuff now. But these people tend to normally.
There was no harnesses or anything.
No harnesses, slippers, pipe, up they go. Walking along one board, and you wouldn't catch me doing that. They're braver men than me. But I've met some characters. It's been a good fun. I wouldn't change my journey. Probably would have started my business a bit sooner, obviously, to be a bit further along. I realised that I wasn't built for being on the tools. I definitely wasn't, but it was good to learn. I'm definitely more the salesman.
Your back hasn't gone.
My back has gone, yeah. I'm going to the chiropractor twice a week at the moment, but that might be stress. I'm getting married next week, so.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you very much. Good Friday, next Friday. So tie the knot.
Is it going to be videoed? You can TikTok?
It is, yeah. It actually is. It's not being videoed for myself to be TikToked, but for Jack and Lagodi, that's a package they want to offer. Yeah. So I asked him I actually asked him to videograph it for people that can't make it. I've got family in New Zealand and stuff; they can't make it. I said it'd be handy if you could film it, and he's going to clip some of it for his own stuff. So I'll probably post a few bits and pieces.
Please do. Oh, well, congratulations!
Thank you.
If anybody's watching or listening to this, how can they get hold of you? What's the best way to get hold of you?
Socials.
But how? Yeah. What's the
active group scaffolding? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're really trying to push LinkedIn. We haven't gone properly in there yet, but that's where the decision makers are. So that's where we're trying to push the more professional side and show what we can offer. And that's hopefully where we're going to start getting a lot more of our work from. But anywhere on socials, email richard@activescaffolding.group. But you'll find us on socials. There's a lot of funny videos on our TikTok and stuff. We try and keep it user friendly, bit of a laugh, but also professional as well.
Yeah, I have to commend you on the approach to making the industry kind of more acceptable, because I've been in construction or associated with construction probably 50 years, and the image and the perception of a scaffolder hasn't changed much over those years. So
I feel like it's in a good place now. No,
I
really do.
Well, I think the industry generally is looking at itself, which is good, and something as bold as that, if you like, what you're doing is really commendable, because at the end of the day, people are just trying to make a living, and once they realise, there are
scaffolding's a tough job. If you ask me, the toughest. There's arguments to going to be a bit controversial here. There's arguments to who's got the toughest trade. I would say scaffolders. We do the hard bit to give you the easy bit. So we're going out in the wind, rain, and snow to put these jobs up silly high to give you a safe access to do your job. So even if you're a roofer, I know you're up there and you've got it hard, but we've put that there so you can get up there and do your job. So
actually, questions just come to mind. So with insurances, I remember when I had a construction company, I think it was 30 metres back then, we had to change our insurance. Yeah. Has that changed at all, or is that still the same?
They ask you how high you go, and the higher you go, the higher your premium goes. I think we've got up to, I don't know, a couple of 100 foot or something like that. We've never gone above that.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's not an easy job. I wouldn't say there's a perfect weather for it either. I mean, a nice cool day is probably the best weather for it. The hottest days are not nice because the tubes literally burn you. And then the cold days when they're stuck together frozen. I mean, I've seen people use all sorts to warm the tubes up to break them apart. We won't go into it, but maybe hot water from a kettle.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's the cold weathers are horrible. The hot weathers are hard, and I always try and remember that when I'm obviously sat in my office trying to sort the workload out and stuff. We have to remind ourselves when we look out the window, the boys are actually out there in that rain and getting soaked through, and you can't throw another job on them on the way home. They need to get home and get warm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, I think we've come to the end. But if anybody out there is looking to get into scaffolding or wants to become a scaffolder, contact Richard. If you want to check his TikTok, which I'm going to be doing as well. We're looking out for some more.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Videos. I will indeed. But thanks very much,
No,
Richard.
thank you for having me.
Thanks for turning up.
Yeah, brilliant.
Great. Thank
Cheers.
you.